Yes, you heard right. Diamonds are neither a rare substance nor a valuable element. Don't worry, I will explain everything. Let's jump right into our conversation and start with a question. Are you married? Without asking whether you are lucky or unlucky, I will just say it straight. You have been tricked. Yes, you have been tricked just like all other married people. No, don't get me wrong. I am not saying this because you got married. I am talking about the moment when you got down on one knee and proposed to the person you love with a diamond ring. They tricked you so badly. If only you knew. I can hear you saying, what an irrelevant introduction to a geography video. Today, I wanted to make a video about one of the most interesting subfields of geography, underground resources, and I chose diamond mining as the topic. We are going to talk about the biggest lie in geography that you have been told until now. Please lie back on your couch. Today, we are just going to take a short nap, a little snooze. Here we go. First of all, life on Earth is based on the carbon element. The carbon element is everywhere, both in living and non-living matter. Carbon is found in the crust of our planet, that is, in the layer where underground resources are located at a rate of 0.025%, and in living organisms at a rate of 20%. Therefore, I can easily say that carbon has an important place on the planet we live on. Different carbon atoms can come together in different configurations. For example, the formation known as buckyball resembles a soccer ball, as its name suggests, and consists of 60 carbon atoms. Besides a soccer ball, it is also likened to a cage shape. This carbon allotrope can form naturally, even in outer space. A second example is the atomic arrangement of coal, which is as follows. Coal does not contain only carbon. It also contains other elements, such as oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. However, it is mostly composed of carbon. On the other hand, diamond is pure carbon. French chemist Antoine Lavoisier burned a diamond and discovered that it was pure carbon when he saw that the combustion gas was only carbon dioxide. Before moving on to the diamond example, the last example I want to give is a pencil lead. In fact, thanks to the different arrangements of carbon atoms, materials with completely different properties are formed. At the same time, these materials can also transform into each other under certain conditions. For example, if you compress one of those pencil lead under a pressure 50,000 times greater than sea level pressure, and during this compression, raise the temperature to 1,300 degrees Celsius, which means 2,370 degrees Fahrenheit, the pencil lead transforms into one of the most valuable matter believed to exist on Earth. You know it as diamond. First, let's briefly recall from our geography lessons how diamonds are formed. The plates that carry the land masses we walk on, the continents, are constantly moving. These plates sometimes collide with each other, causing what we call tectonic activity or earthquakes. During this collision, the denser plate sinks, while the lighter one rises, forming the landforms we call mountains. It is during this collision that the pressure and temperature under 200 kilometers, which means 124 miles below the surface, reach the levels we mentioned earlier, capable of transforming a pencil lead into a diamond. If this diamond had remained under 200 kilometers, which means 124 miles below the surface, we would never have been able to extract it. To date, the deepest hole ever dug by humans on Earth is 12 kilometers, which means 7 miles. Imagine, under normal circumstances, we couldn't even get close to it. However, during volcanic activities, diamonds formed deep within the Earth, rise closer to the surface, along with the magma, allowing us to open mines and collect them. So what makes diamonds so valuable? Is it because they are rare on Earth and therefore valuable? Of course, no. The only thing that makes diamonds special is that they are the hardest material in nature. They have no other special properties. Diamonds are the hardest natural material on Earth. Incidentally, we have managed to surpass the hardness of diamonds by artificially producing tungsten carbide and boron nitride. But there are very few materials that are harder than diamonds. I feel like you are still not convinced. In a moment, I will give you examples of how widely diamonds are used today. When you start to wonder how a rare element can be used in so many areas, that's when we will begin to see eye to eye. By the way, I wish all married couples a lifetime of happiness. It's a wonderful feeling. I recommend it to everyone. Also, my advice to all singles is this: you only live once. Enjoy being single. Let's get back to our topic. What were we saying last? What makes diamonds so valuable is that they are the hardest natural material in nature. They have no other properties. It is precisely because of this hardness that diamonds are used extensively in all fields where cutting is required. These fields are so broad that let's start listing them. Diamond is used in materials produced to smooth hard surfaces, in industrial drill bits, in some Bluetooth speakers that provide high-definition sound when engraving shapes or logos on hard surfaces, in cooling elements, in high-pressure experiments, in dental materials for cutting hard tooth tissue, and in the windows of X-ray machines to control radiation transmission. Diamond is a rare substance, so how is it that it can be used so widely and abundantly? Wasn't diamond supposed to be a very rare element? Isn't its rarity what makes it valuable? Don't you think there is something odd about this? This is where the big deception begins. If you are still awake, both literally and figuratively, let's continue. The discovery of diamonds, in their familiar sparkling form today, began in the 19th century with their discovery in South Africa. Many companies, sensing an opportunity, descended on the region like vultures, and quickly opened numerous mines there. This supposedly rare mineral earned its operators millions of dollars every year. But soon, something very interesting was noticed. Diamonds were not as rare a mineral as previously thought. The more they dug, the more they found. Moreover, diamonds were not considered an officially valuable mineral by countries. Therefore, as always, the only thing that determined the market price was the balance of supply and demand. Consequently, the surplus of diamonds caused prices to plummet. Many mining companies, unable to make a profit, began to close down one after another. During this crisis, one company wanted to turn the crisis into an opportunity and take advantage of the situation. I won't mention the name of this company in this video, and I will refer to it as this company until the end of the video. However, if my newly opened YouTube channel, which I am trying to grow it with an amateur spirit, reaches 1,000 subscribers in a short time, I will make a short explanatory video about this company. This company realized that if it bought all the closed mines for next to nothing, it could quickly become a monopoly in diamond production in South Africa. In this situation, it could artificially inflate prices as it pleased. And by the early 1900s, this company managed to control 90% of the world's diamond mining. While the company was making huge profits, it paid its workers, who labored in extremely dangerous and deadly conditions in the mines, low wages that did not even exceed $10 a week. These low wages caused unrest and gang wars in the region. The expression blood diamonds comes from those days. The movie Blood Diamond, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, also touches on this subject. I recommend watching it. Let's make a comparison. Diamonds are as abundant as turquoise or opals, and under normal circumstances, their price should be comparable to those of other gemstones. That's the kind of mine we are talking about. Anyway, back to our topic. The rebellions were suppressed somehow with political manipulations, and this monopolized company kept prices artificially high. For example, if you try to sell a diamond back to the jeweler, which you bought for $3,000 American, you will learn the bitter truth. Diamonds are only valuable when it is sold to you. They are not valuable when sold like gold. In fact, diamonds filled a psychological void within people. So, if diamonds weren't that valuable, how did we come to believe that diamonds are a very rare and valuable matter? If you are still not convinced, let me explain. The company I mentioned carried out a very well-planned social engineering project using its monopoly power. Proposing marriage with a diamond ring is a very new tradition. It is not an old tradition, and it is almost a result of this social engineering carried out by this company. Working with the most successful advertising agencies of the time, they launched the slogan, "Diamonds are forever." This simple but effective slogan actually appealed to the subconscious idea of eternity in marriage, and over time, diamonds and marriage began to be mentioned together. This company used all advertising methods to create this perception. So much so that this slogan was even used in the 1971 James Bond film, Diamonds Are Forever, starring Sean Connery. Of course, diamonds are not eternal and forever. On the contrary, diamonds are less stable than even a pencil lead, and under the right conditions, diamonds can turn into a pencil lead. If you didn't pay enough money for the diamond you bought, look at it carefully with a good magnifying glass, and you will notice some black spots inside. Those black spots are actually carbon that hasn't turned into diamond, but has been damaged. And actually, destroying a diamond is extremely simple. With a sufficiently powerful magnifying glass, if you focus sunlight onto the diamond, you can see it turn into carbon dioxide gas and vaporize right before your eyes. In other words, the lead of your pencil will probably last much longer than the diamond you put on your beloved wife's finger. If you still believe the lie that diamonds are forever, go ahead. In romantic love films, the pressure to conform to social norms, such as proposing marriage with a diamond ring, led to a rapid increase in diamond sales in a very short time. People began to associate their eternal love with eternal diamonds. In the 2000s, the percentage of married American women who owned a diamond ring exceeded 50%. Similar rates began to be seen around the world. Many people only get married once in their lives. Therefore, the diamond this company were trying to sell had to be as expensive as possible. The goal was to make it unaffordable on just 1 month's salary. Due to this inflated social pressure, people are buying increasingly larger diamond jewelry, not only for marriage proposals, but also for important wedding anniversaries. The bigger the diamond, the greater the love. Fortunately, things are getting better, not worse. Thanks to today's technology, we can now create in just a few days in laboratory conditions what nature takes millions of years to do. Yes, we can now produce synthetic diamonds, and they are indistinguishable from natural ones. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on a diamond ring that serves no purpose other than signaling status and wealth, just to post 3 pictures of diamond engagement rings on social media, I personally find it much more reasonable to spend that money on creating many memorable moments, such as a trip to the Far East, an African safari, a tour of America, a tour of Australia, or a cultural tour of Europe. Personally, I find that much more reasonable. So, in this video, we have discussed another geographical topic. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I have made 2 other videos for you before. My first video was titled, "How Many Years Until the Black Sea Erupts?" And my second video was titled, "How Many Hours Did It Take the Hippos, which didn't exist in South America until 50 years ago, to swim across the Atlantic Ocean to reach Colombia?" If you find these types of videos about geography interesting, you can subscribe to my new YouTube channel and stay tuned. That way, you will be the first to know about my new videos. See you in the next boring video. Goodbye.